So we're shopping and my daughter says, why? It's been raining all day. And she says, why do I hear water inside this door? Listen, there's water inside this door. Why? It's because the drains down here on these F-150s are not adequate for draining, and the smallest amount of debris that gets in there actually fills these doors up and they don't drain properly. The best thing for you to do, first of all, take these plugs, pull them out. You don't need it. They don't need to be in there. And that's what happens right there. Ford did a terrible job with the drains on these trucks. They made them too shallow, and the smallest amount of debris just plugs them up. There and right there. And if you try to open them up, you ding the bottom of the door and it puts a crease in it and it looks ugly, and etc, etc. The video that you just watched was a short that I made not too long ago. It's a pretty popular video. There were some people that said some ignorant things in the comment section like, way to go, Ford. It's awesome for you guys to design such a piece of crap. Well, little did you guys know, all vehicles, all manufacturers have drains in the bottom of their doors. Why is that? Because water gets past the door seals sometimes. They're not completely leak proof. Water gets down in there, they put drains in the bottom so water can get out. It's not a sealed system, right? So that's normal for this type of stuff to happen, and all vehicles have drains. Some are designed better than others. There were also some comments like, man, no wonder why they build them like that. They just build them so the bottoms of the doors will rust out. 2015 and up are aluminum bodies. They don't rust out because of water being in the doors. Anything before that, yes. Duties, Super Duties, 2017 and up, they don't rust out because of that. It's just a issue that some vehicle manufacturers have. And in that video, there were people with Lexuses, Toyotas, Chryslers, Nissans, Hondas, all saying, yep, mine had the same thing. Yep, mine had the same thing. Yep, mine had the same thing. It wasn't a Ford thing, or a Chrysler thing, or a fucking Chevy thing. Get over yourself, guys. Somebody's trying to show you something to check in your vehicle. Somebody's trying to show you something to empower you so you know more about what's going on. Use it wisely and go check your vehicles. Check the drains in the bottom of your doors. Sometimes you'll have to pull the black weather strip around if it's in a certain spot, because the drains are actually behind that instead of on the bottom. Now I'm going to show you how some of these can be manufactured just a little bit different than the other. See the bottoms of these doors, how this door comes down and then it turns in real hard, and then there's that pinch, the lip of the door. Well, it leaves for almost no room for things to get out. Now you might say, what a lot of the other yahoos said, well, just blow shop air in there. Why? So it can blow up in there temporarily and then end up washing right back into the hole and plugging up again? Doesn't really work that way all the time. Now what I do is get myself a little screwdriver here, and I'll open the slot up a little bit. See how that's nice and open now, and it's got a nice gap. Water can get in and out of there easy. See, I pulled the rubber plug out of there. It doesn't really do anything. Same thing over here in this corner. I take and open that slot up a little bit so it's nice and open. Now water can run out of there real easy and it won't rust up. Sometimes in some of these F-150s, the water will get so bad in the door that it will back up and it will start dumping over from the weather strip underneath here into the channel, and then get down here into your wiring harness. But that goes for GM as well. That does the same thing. GM is no saint with it when it comes to that, or Dodge for that matter. Look at this door back here. See, I pulled the plug out of it so it can drain. Look at that. It's got a nice big old giant gap. Same thing over here. Got a nice big old gap right here on the bottom of this door. No issue there. But on this truck, one door is just a little bit different than the other ones when it comes to the drains. This door right here is the one that we just had the issue with all the water backing up inside this door. And people are like, oh, what'd you do? Fill your door up with water? Because there's not that much water in a door. That's abnormal. We had 3 days of rain to where every one of the ditches in this entire area in these intersections were full of water. All the ditches were This was all the way up. You can actually go to Power Stroke Tech Talk with A-Rod and go a couple live streams back, and you can see the water in the freaking ditches, and it was raining while we were live streaming. It's just constant pouring. Now, look how closed up this one is. There's not a lot of room here. So what do? Let's open that up a little bit. Now, look at that. Look at that. Now you can go in there with some shop air and blow it all out. Now, nice and opened up. That'll never happen again. Same thing over here. This one ain't got a lot of room because of how the door turns down, how it's made. It's manufactured really bad in that area. This particular door, when they did the turn down, they did not leave a lot of space for water to actually get up in here. That channel actually plugs up completely, and then you can't get water to drain out of it. Now look here, watch the debris come out of that. Still coming out. Now there's a number of things you can do to keep this door clear. You can drill holes bigger in the bottom, just don't go through the outside. You can do what I did with just a flat blade screwdriver and open up the holes a little bit. You can blow some chopped air in there for them from time to time. It should be a maintenance item for people to keep those drains clear. If you're doing it all the time, sure. But the amount of stupid comments that were in that video from people were just, the bias, just the stupid, idiotic bias from people were absolutely ridiculous. And how they're such a fan of, should have bought a Chevy. Why? So I could have lifter problems right out the gate, right off the truck. Why? So my 6'2" rods can just throw themselves right through the block and I'm stranded on the side of the road. You know, I don't get the comments from people and stuff like, oh, should have bought a Dodge, should have bought a Dodge. Why? So I have electronic problems, and every time I turn around, I've got some kind of overheating condition going on. My cluster's going out, the trans won't shift, every freaking, I mean, I could keep going. Or I should have bought a Kia or a Hyundai. Why? So the engines blow up at 40,000 miles, 50,000 miles? I mean, for God's sake, I could pinpoint problems, whatever. Or should have bought a Toyota. Why? So the torque converters can come leaking right from the factory. So the front differentials in the SUVs can start locking up. I mean, come on, guys. I came from an auto group that had over 20 dealerships. I've seen it all. Some had more problems than others, but they all had problems. And one thing they do have in common is they all have drains in the doors because they know they cannot totally seal up the doors, especially in heavy rains or constant downpours. Those drains have to be there so the doors can drain properly. And a lot of times they get plugged up, and some people are right. They do rust out from constant water and stuff being in there. I'm constantly replacing things in people's cars all the time for water from sunroofs. The drains plug up because nobody knows they are an absolute maintenance item and should be inspected at least once a year. Hey, can you clean out my sunroof track and lubricate it real quick? Check my drains and stuff like that. Hey, my AC system, whenever you're down there underneath the vehicle changing the oil, can you see if you can identify where my drain is and make sure it's not plugged up and it doesn't look like there's any debris in it? People don't know that stuff because that water all backs up inside the car, gets down inside the behind the plastic panels and stuff, gets in the floor, soaks modules and connectors and everything else. But you know what? The peanut gallery knows what's best because that's what they do every single day. The bias that's shown from people in the automotive field is like absolutely ridiculous. Or people that are not even in the automotive field, they're just consumers and they just have a hard-on for certain manufacturers and they just rather trash them than be honest about it. All manufacturers have problems and all of them have these specific problems. I wouldn't come to you with a bunch of bullshit to make you feel good about bashing one product versus another. I come to you because I want to teach you stuff about things and I want you to learn. That's why I'm here. Y'all be blessed. Take care, and I hope you've learned from this video more than anything that people say a lot of stupid stuff. Don't pay attention to it. And if somebody's trying to teach you something, look past the BS and actually go try to soak in the teaching portion more than anything. Not everybody else in the comment sections biased towards Chevy or Dodge or Toyota or Honda or whatever it may be. I love y'all.